So let's see how we can create a login page using Tkinter and Python. I have this blank canvas here. I'm just importing Tkinter, creating a window, creating a size, and then if I run this right now, this is the window. This is just a window with this size. Height is 300 pixels and width is 500 pixels. Now let's add some labels, some text fields, and a button here. Okay, now I just click this to run this because I have this extension called code runner installed. If you don't have this button, you can just click on run and click on run without debugging to run this project and test it, right? So yeah, in the future I'll also just be clicking this, so you will have to do run and run without debugging, or hit the shortcut control F5 if you don't have this code runner extension installed. Okay, anyway, let's get started. So first of all, let's add some labels and some entry. Let's say password label entry, not password. First let's add username, right? Because we want to ask for username first. So you label, we want this in root, and the text of the label is username, and we can change font and something, but let's not do this right now. And let's say username you label dot place. Where do we want to paste this? Let's just add some where near the top left. So rel x and rel y will be 0.2. So we have the label ready. Now let's add text box for our user entry, right? Not text, let's say entry. Again, this will be in root, and let's place this somewhere that is next to our label. So rel y will be same because we want them to be in the same line. Just the x needs to be different because we want this to be after our label, right? And let's make it very longer than that, longer than our label. So relative width 0.6. Now let's run this and let's see what we have. So we have a username, and this is something, looks very unclear. So let's close this and let's add some colors. So in our background, let's add some color. So we will do root.configure, and background color will be, let's add some color here, and I'll write, let's be random here, 3498 GB. Let's run this and let's see what color this is. Okay, blue is good enough. And it would be better to just change the colors of our buttons also, but let's not do this now. You will want to go to Google or some color palettes and choose colors for your buttons and everything. Or let's try adding this color to our button also, and label also. So we go background equals to our color, and here also let's say, okay, let's not add color here. Let's see what happens now. Okay, so the username's background is plain and we have text box in white here. So this looks all right. Let's do the same for our password. Okay, let's copy this. Instead of username, this becomes pwd, and instead of you, I'll just change this. You need to work smart, not just hard. You can work hard and smart both, but you definitely got to be smart. Now the label here is password, and the position is, we want this to be below this, right? So y will be changed, y will become 0.4 here, and here also it will become 0.4. Okay, let's run this and let's see what we have here. Okay, this seems pretty all right. We have password and we have username field, right? We will make some styling changes later on, but for now what we need is we just need a button. So let's add a button here. We just need to place this somewhere. Let's place this. Where do we want? We want this in the middle, right? So X needs to be aligned with this. Let's align this with our text entries that we have done above. And relative y will be, since it is below all this has to be 0.6 greater than 0.4. And let's say the width is relatively 0.4, so a little less than our text entry here. Now let's stop this and run this again. Yeah, so our login button is also ready, but when you click this, it does not do anything. So what we need to do is we need to get whatever the user has entered here and probably call an API or check it from a database, but it is not doing anything. That's because we've added a button, but we have not done anything to say what to do when the button is clicked. For that, we need command, and this takes a function. So I'm writing login here, but it is showing an error because login function is not defined. So let's create a function. Initially, we will just print whatever we have here, that is whatever the user has entered. So uEntry dot get, and pwd is pentry dot get. Now I will check the names. That's, yeah, so username entry is uEntry and password entry is pentry. So we've gotten these two, username and password, that the user has written, and let's just print it. But in reality, what you'll do is you will call an API or check username and password are correct or not from a database. For now, let's not do that. Let's just print this. Okay, so we have added a function and we are calling this function whenever the button is clicked. Let's run this again. It's giving me error that there is an unmatched bracket here, but there is no unmatched bracket. I am not sure why it is. Something is wrong here. So let's just add this again. Let's run this. Okay, so now if I click on login, as you can see, username is empty, password is empty. But if I type username test user and password also 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, something like that, click login, and both are shown. But this is not a good way to show password, right? Password field needs to have this hidden. You have never seen this thing like this. So let's see how we can hide this. Let's minimize this, and we will simply replace whatever the user has typed with let's say asterisk, right? So what we want to do is, after we have placed this here, not in the button, in the password field, we just have to add show equals to asterisk, and everything else will be replaced with asterisk. Now you can just, instead of asterisk, you can add dollar here, and let's try to run this again. Okay, it is saying unknown option show. Okay, we need to add this in text entry, not in label. So mistake there, put it here, and let's run this. And now if I type user here, it's fine, but if I type anything here, as you can see, it's being replaced with dollar sign. So we'll want to probably replace this with asterisk. Let me keep dollar for this tutorial, and let's have some fun. Okay, now, yeah, basically our login form is ready. So in our login form, we have a username, we have a password, and we have a button that logs in, or that just gets whatever is here, and it prints it in the terminal. Now you will want to just pass it to a user API or take it from the database, but our login form is ready. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below.